Jesus Christ be praised.
I've saved some coin. Could you teach me?
Certainly. Let's get started. He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart. Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, let's see you read a bit. There's a book here on the table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
I've read the book.
Wonderful. So tell me, what have you learned?
There was something about some fellow and a goose.
Ah, well, the main thing is you've managed to read the book. The rest is just practice. Only through a careful reading will you uncover the real meaning of the text. No book is written on a mere whim and without purpose. Like I told you, books are valuable, and the words that you place in them ought to be no less so.
Does that mean that I can read then?
Yes, you have the foundation. Remember, my boy, the pen is mightier than the sword. To fully learn your way around words will take a lot more reading yet. Now we'll move on to the second lesson, which will be much harder. Many books are written in Latin, the language of erudite and religious men. If you really want to be able to read, there's no getting away from Latin. There's a book on the table with some text. Read it and then come back. You need not understand it, but you should master the letters.
I only just managed the fable about the goose, and now you're asking me to tackle Latin.
You're a clever lad. You'll manage.
I read the page.
So tell me, Distripule, what's written there?
Nullus est liber tam malus, ut non lique parte prosit.
Good heavens! Don't tell me you haven't had lessons before. Excellent. Well, there's nothing more I can teach you. Congratulations. You can go and be ordained right away.
Thank you, Domine. I'm feeling a lot wiser.
God be with you.
I've heard there's a foreign knight staying here.
That Deutscher, he's gone. He said he'll be back.
Did he give his name?
No, frankly, he wasn't the type you want to ask twice.
Why's that?
There are guests I like, and then there's those that keep me awake at night. This knight is a good payer, but he spends a whole day tweaking his whiskers and sizing everyone up for a fight. I don't have bloodshed in my establishment.
Did you see his crest?
That's just it. He arrived with a white shield, nothing on it, and the Wagners tell me that's how knights ride when they want to stay incognito.
That is very odd. And do you know where he went?
Yes, he asked me the way. Or demanded, more like. Bastard scares me so much I almost forgot to ask him to pay.
But you remembered in the end, eh?
Well, business is business.
And where was it he wanted to go?
Well, he asked me about a crossroads in the woods north of Rovna. I got the impression he was looking for someone. I know the road's that way, so I advised him to try looking at the charcoal burners junction.
I see. Thank you. So just what was he doing here?
He spent most of the day sitting, drinking, and gaping at the other patrons. Now and again someone came up to him and they talked a while, but nothing much went on.
Did you know any of those people?
No, nobody familiar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. May I ask what you're looking for?
I have some unfinished business with him.
Ah, it's just that the gentleman looked quite formidable and quite questionable. I'd hate him to think I'd sold him out.
I wouldn't fret about that. Are there any problems around here I might be able to help with?
Well, it depends what you're willing to do. There was one troublemaker around here not long ago, but we dealt with him. He was selling some relics and he claimed were miraculous, but it was nothing but worthless trinkets. The villagers sent the bloody swindler packing so fast, you couldn't see his heels for dust. All the way to the Dechko, I believe. I reckon he won't last long there either. And that's not all. Of course, it's your own skelet's fault need the most help. There's some of them at the monastery. I talked to Johanka a few times, and she's working her fingers to the bone, taking care of the injured ones there. I'm sure she'd welcome some good Samaritan who would lighten her load. That's all I can think of. May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you. What do you need?
What happened at the crossroads?
What?
Listen, there's corpses lying on the road out there, a ransacked wagon, and a trail that leads right here. Now, you seem to be honest and friendly folk, not marauding cutthroats. So I prefer to believe you don't have anything to do with it.
But
if you don't start helping me, I might change my mind.
I don't know nothing and I haven't seen nothing. If you want to know something about it, just ask Boyar. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Who is this Boyar?
Boyar cracks the whip around here. You'll recognize him by his red cap.
Thank you.
Farewell.
Good day to you. What do you need?
What do you know about the wagon that's been ambushed at the crossroads?
I haven't a clue what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Do you have any idea whose wagon it was?
I don't know. And I don't care.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm sure you've heard of the gang that burned down Neuhof
Possibly.
and poisoned the well in Merchoyet. They're the kind of men you don't want to get on the wrong side of.
I didn't get on the wrong side of them, though. Did I? The opposite. Actually, we helped them out. And I didn't even know who they were.
What happened?
Let's just get this straight. We didn't ambush anyone.
And what were you doing at the crossroads then?
We were just passing, and we saw the wagon. So we took the sacks.
Just the sacks? What about the trail of bloodstains leading to the camp?
I was just getting to that. We also found one wounded man. What am I saying, wounded? The fellow was hacked like a martyr in some holy picture. He begged us to hide him away.
So you have him here somewhere? Is he still alive?
The fellow has quite a will to live. I'll give him that.
Do you know who ambushed that wagon?
Not a clue. We came a long way after.
Did he tell you anything?
He wasn't exactly talkative. His lungs are full of holes, so talking's a problem.
Where is he?
We've locked him away in the shed. There.
I want to talk to him.
I don't know. He paid us. We're not to let anyone near him.
I don't mean to hurt him.
So be it. Here. Take the key.
Thanks.
Farewell.
Who are you?
Never mind that. I've come to help you.
Thank God. I thought I'd breathe my last here. Lucky for me, my guardian angel comes bursting through the door.
I'm no angel, so you'll have to answer a few questions before you get my help.
Ah, well, I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Who is it you work for? Who did the wagon belong to?
To Menhart. He's some kind of merchant who hired me for protection. But that's all I know.
And where's this Menhart disappeared off to?
No idea. I blacked out after the attack. Only came to my senses once I got here. I don't even know where here is.
Who ambushed that wagon?
A knight. He's been following us for a while.
And where did he go?
I don't know. I got a beating, and then I passed out.
Do you know what you were carrying in that wagon?
I never asked Menhart that.
Tell me more about the night.
Where's the coin?
What? What coin?
I will not repeat the question.
I don't know about any coin. I swear.
Ah! Where are
Oh.
those sacks you took from the wagon?
Sacks! They're behind the shed.
That's him! That's got to be that knight!
Is that all? Did you take anything else?
Fuck! Stop! Stop right there!
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Done. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter as long as he goes back to the Sasau Inn.
All right. You win. I surrender.
Well?
Who is that, Taffy? It seems I have finally met my match.
I want to know everything. Who you are, why you're here, and what you know about the ambushed wagon.
You may call me Ulrich. I will tell you nothing more until you give me some assurances.
Assurances? How about this? If you talk, I'll spare you.
Do you expect me to believe that? I know full well how these stories end. I have been at the other end of the sword more times than you can count.
I give you my word.
The word of a thief? Jesus. It is true what the preachers say. This world has gone quite mad. You had better kill me. I'm finished, anyway. Just as you are.
Unlike you, I'm not a criminal.
You believe that the forging of money is an honest trade?
I've got nothing to do with that. I'm not a forger, I'm the one investigating them.
What? What are you saying?
I'm in the service of Sir Radzig Kobyla, Governor of Skalitz and Royal Hetman.
Then we have something in common. I also am here under orders from above.
From who?
Perhaps you might sheath that weapon, so that we may talk eye to eye, if we do indeed have a common cause.
Stand up.
It is true our meeting has not begun well, but if it is the truth that you are sent by Kobila, then we can assist each other.
What do you mean?
I found out many things, but there are still questions I cannot answer. And the last man who knew anything is now dead.
What man was that?
Mainhard, the merchant from Passau. Listen, I will explain everything to you, but first, I need you to do something for me.
Oh, really?
You will introduce me to a certain person, and I will tell you everything I've learned.
Who do you mean?
Master Tobias Pfeiffer. If you truly serve Sir Radzik, then you must know him.
I think I know who you mean. What do you want him for?
I have here a written confession which tells how those forgeries are made, but I do not understand such technical matters. Master Pfeiffer, however...
We'll definitely be able to make sense of it. And you'll give it to me, just like that?
It seems I have little choice. This is the last lead I have. In the meantime, I will return to Sassau and see what I might learn there.
Shouldn't you go with me to see Pfeiffer?
No. I must remain in Sassau. I have some loose ends that must be tied.
What's your name, anyway?
I told you. I am Ulrich.
Just Ulrich?
It is enough.
Because you look like a knight. They seldom have just one name.
It is true. I have a horse, armor, a sword, and a shield. But there are many ways to acquire such things these days. As I am sure you know.
So you're not a knight?
I am a trustworthy soldier in the service of a nobleman. That is all you need to know.
All right then, Ulrich. Let's leave it at that. Tell me what you know about the false coins.
Do you know Passau?
No, what is it?
A city in Bavaria. Passau is a city of trade. All the currencies in Christendom change hands there.
I see. And that would include Prague groschen?
Some months ago, counterfeit groschen were discovered to be circulating there. They are made from copper plated with silver. The Passau alderman began to investigate and learned that a family of money changers was involved. They were bringing the forged coins in from Bohemia and sending back real ones. My liege lord is allied to the Passau alderman, so they requested that he deal with the matter.
And so he sent you?
Yes, he needed a man that he could trust absolutely.
Who are you working for?
I understand why you wish to know, but this does not mean I am at liberty to tell you.
That sounds a bit fishy.
It is simply that my master does not wish to be revealed. And if we are to help one another, that is how it must remain.
And what about that wagon? What happened there exactly?
I followed Menhard from Passau. I had reason to suspect a connection with Sassau.
What happened on that track?
I ambushed them. I took down 2, but that bastard Manhart cut the horses loose and rode away.
What next?
While I was chasing Manhart, those charcoal burners came and stole what they could. Before I could catch him, his horse threw him and he broke his neck.
So we won't get anything out of him.
Unfortunately not.
What happened to Menhart?
He is dead, of course.
I know, but what did you do with his body?
I buried him. He was a bastard. But I'm not one to leave Christian remains rotting in the woods.
I see. And where's his grave?
He ran from the wagon uphill along the path to the north. Along the way there is an old ruined cabin. I buried him behind it. And don't think I don't know why you ask. Robbing graves is shameful.
That's not it at all.
If you say so.
Very well. I'll go and see Master Fafar.
Godspeed. I will wait in Sasau at the Wagoner's Inn.
Get lost. Gather. What are you doing? Get the hell out. You can't be serious sleeping in other people's beds. Get out, or you will be sorry. Hey, young.
God be with you. Do you need anything?
Have you got a bed for the night?
I suppose I could find something. For how long?
Just the one night?
All right. Money up front, though.
Here you are.
You've got it all to yourself. No one will disturb you.
Where do I go to sleep?
On the upper floor of the inn. There are steps up to it outside. The second door. Take care.
God bless you. What troubles you?
Master Fafar, I need to speak with you. I found out something about the counterfeit coin.
Did you really? Do tell.
Close to Rovna, I came across a wagon that was transporting the false coins. Unfortunately, I came too late. The carter and his men were dead.
Damn and blast. Do you know who did it?
Yes. A certain knight turned up there. Turned out he was also after the forgers.
Well, that is indeed unexpected. Tell me, what did he say?
His name is Ulrich. He looked like a knight, but he refused to show his master's colours.
Ulrich, you say? Could be anyone. Can you describe him?
An older man with a moustache. But for all his grey hairs, he seemed pretty tough to me.
Doesn't match anyone I've heard of. But then we don't even know if Ulrich is his real name.
I asked him who his liege was, but he refused to tell me.
We live in such strange times. In days past, knights would vie with each other to see who could extol their liege's name the loudest. And today, they take assumed names, hide their emblems, and sneak around the land like thieves.
I got the impression he was hiding his identity because his master's at odds with Sir Radzig.
That may well be. As a staunch supporter of the king, Sir Radzig has many enemies.
He told me that the fake money was being taken to Passau in exchange for gold coins, then that real money was being brought back to the Bohemian lands.
That would explain why those fakes bear the Passau countermark.
His master's allied with the Passau alderman, and they told him to sort it all out.
I wonder who could be behind it all.
He gave me these documents to show you. He seemed to think they prove he was telling the truth. They're the records of the interrogations in Passau, and some other things he said you'd understand better than him.
Let me see. We, the aldermen of the city of Passau, interrogation held this day, put to pen by the questor. The place of origin is a monastery in the land of Bohemia. Which certainly confirms my suspicion that something underhand is going on in Sasso. Coin assay report. Copper core coated with amalgam. Ah, but this is interesting. Here's an outline description of how the forgeries are made. I'll have to study it more closely. We command Herr Ulrich to investigate and let no man stand in his way. This looks like the original safe conduct. It has the seal of the Passau alderman, but they certainly didn't pen this.
How do you know?
I recognize the hand. It's a Clement of Kaplitz, the high scribe of the Rosenbergs.
The Rosenbergs? Who's that?
A rich and powerful family in South Bohemia. Burgrave Henry III is a great rival of our King Wenceslas.
So what does all this mean?
Well, it certainly explains why your knight is so mysterious. Anyway, we should be careful. And we shall begin our investigation. The documents show they use silver amalgam for coating copper fakes. That's a lead we can follow.
What?
Silver amalgam. It's produced from quicksilver and silver.
Well, that doesn't sound like something just anyone can get hold of.
You're quite right. You will go to Sasso at once. Look around the forges in the city. Someone must be working copper for them. I, meanwhile, will take counsel with Sir Radzig and then follow after you.
Where shall we meet?
At the inn on Sasso Market Square.
Did you find out what actually happened?
Folks say it was on account of our silver and how Sir Radzig sides with the king.
How does life in Rattay suit you?
I suppose it was kind of them to take us in, but then they just left us to fend for ourselves. Nobody gives a damn about us. Good luck to you.
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Here, just as you ordered.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins and quicksilver for the the other part?
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard anything else?
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujitz. I heard him complain also. He said that he went to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I hear you've had some problems with the supply of quicksilver.
Problems? I should say so. For the third time this month they've told me they've none. There's no quicksilver to be had, they said.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red paint, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived, and another time that the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
Jesus, what do I know? But it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same thing goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
What do you need quicksilver for?
I don't. They do. To mix up the red pigment for me. I'm painting the church in Ujits. Can you imagine how stupid those biblical scenes look without red?
Not really.
Then be glad you can. My eyes hurt just to imagine it.
That's all I need to know for now.
Ah. But wouldn't you care to buy something before you go? Or play a game? I really need some money. I've been waiting here a while and my stay's getting expensive.
Why not? Show me what you have to offer.
That's stolen. What are you trying on me? Get the hell out of here.
A tankard of ale for me.
Kuttenberg is far, far away. Kuttenberg is far, here I'll stay.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Do you ever work with copper here?
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Zach from the monastery craftsman's yard has bought out all the copper.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
There's too many of us, I'll tell you that for free. This is only a small town. There's Zach, who has a forge in the craftsman's yard and mostly works on the construction of the church. And then, apart from me, there's Master Armourer Otter of Ramstein.
Tell me more about Zach.
Don't have much time for him myself. He knows his craft, no question. But he seems to think his son, Vitus, will be a master armourer in Prague one day.
My father was a blacksmith, and I expect he thought much the same about me. That's how fathers are, isn't it?
Of course, any man should be proud of his boy. But Zach makes pride a sin. That's why he's at loggerheads with Master Otter.
Can you tell me something about Master Otter?
Well now, there's a master to look up to. He's worked for the lords of Kunstadt and for the richest townsfolk of Prague.
If you don't mind my asking, what brings him here?
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace and quiet. Or rather, he used to enjoy some peace. That dispute with Zach must have put a few more wrinkles on his brow.
What are Zach and Master Otter arguing about?
Zach had his boy Vitus trained as an armourer in Kuttenberg, and he wanted to buy out Otter's place for him. Except that Otter's a proud man. How would it have looked? A master armourer giving way to a young whippersnapper who's barely let go of his mother's skirts? And they've been arguing ever since. Well, Zach mostly. He badmouths Otter every chance he gets. He claims that he's only fit for mending pots, and that his son will see him off.
That will be all. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
My respects to you.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
I'm here on behalf of the master fresco painter. He said you sent him away empty-handed 3 times already.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
Can't you? In the Sasau monastery? That seems unlikely. It looks more like you're lining your own pockets to me. I wonder what people would have to say about that.
We have no quicksilver because none has arrived. Get it? None.
Take care now.
What do I have to do to enter the monastery?
You must want to serve God, be willing to sacrifice yourself and do labor.
And if I do all that?
That's all you need. If you really want to spend the rest of your life in a monastery. Apart from being literate and having a letter of admission signed by the abbot, of course. But the main thing is to feel it in your heart. A monk spends most of his time in quiet contemplation and communion with the Lord, fervent prayer, and labor to the glory of all creation. You have no business here if you aren't a monk. Be gone.
My respects to you.
I'm looking for some quicksilver. Would you have any on hand?
Talk to my assistant. He deals with such trivial matters.
Fine, thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
Listen, about that quicksilver.
I've already told you, I've none to sell you.
I see. You can't because you don't have any. And you don't have any because you're selling it out the back door, eh?
Suppose I was. I don't see what business it is of yours.
What if I told you I'm the emissary of the royal hetman Radzig Kobyla, and you've got yourself mixed up with a counterfeiting gang?
Counterfeiters? Meaning what?
Somewhere around here is a counterfeiter's workshop. They need the quicksilver to make fake groschen.
What have I got to do with the forger's shop? That means nothing to me. And as for you being the Lord's emissary, likely story.
If you say so.
May the Lord watch over you.
Listen, about that quicksilver.
I've already told you, I've none to sell you.
Bollocks. Tell me this instant what you've done with the goods.
Nothing! And I'd advise you to calm down. We're on hallowed ground.
You're a fine one to speak of hallowed ground, a lying thief in monastic robes. What next? A whore dressed as a nun?
This is blasphemy!
I'll give you blasphemy. I'm sure you know what our Lord did to the money changers in the temple.
What do you mean? You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Tell me what's going on here and I won't have a reason to.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear, I wouldn't normally do anything like that.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon. Directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some knight, it was. Without a crest. Armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery. That they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
God be with you.